now on going forward, we'll be able to bring out something which is very tangible as compared to what was started last. Absolutely.
Hello and welcome. I'm Rose Deanne and this is Life Leftovers. I'm sure we all want to live in a world where there is no poverty, but that's not going to happen unless we do something about it. And it's number one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals released by the UN. So stay tuned onto this podcast, and right at the end, I'll share with you exactly how you can alleviate poverty.
Life Leftovers with Rosalie and 17 goals from the UN. We've got to work together and make real plans. Agenda 2030, let's take a stand. It's Life Leftovers podcast. It's Life Leftovers podcast with Rosalie and we've got to work together. We are left over to care for every creature we can make this world better for all living in it. It's Life Leftovers podcast. It's Life Leftovers podcast with Rosalie Ann.
Oh yes, so please may you subscribe to it. Enjoy. Hello and welcome. It's Life Leftovers podcast 46 and we are in Slayflay. We were having a dialogue on climate change and the youth of Waterberg Biosphere Reserve is here as well as many others. So I'm very excited that we're going to be talking to a couple of them and just finding out what they've learned, what they're happy about, what they want to contribute in, and what they feel that they actually are willing to do about the situation of climate change and what they're willing to bring in their community. So we're gonna get to them on this road. I hope I don't get lost and I hope I don't fall because I'm looking at you, but maybe if I put it that way then it's better. So right now we basically done, but there's still a way forward. The thing is we started a little bit late, but in retrospect there was a lot of importance for us to wait for each other and other people coming in, because you can just imagine that first and foremost other people are coming from Lephalala, other people are coming from Cape Town, other people are coming from Joburg and Mabela and so forth. So we had to obviously wait for one another, and that we did. And it's very exciting to see all the youth and the young people that are here, that are taking part, that are very interested in climate change, that are willing to do what is needed and what's necessary for us to tackle this problem. We had a couple of panelists. We had Mr. Kgothatso Marema, Limsa WBR Wine, and Mr. Badinabo Gavarali, and this is a representative from the IUCN, and we had Kopa Oromeng, which originally is from Botswana, and she studied at the University of Delaware in the USA in mitigation strategy, energy transition, and so forth. Now, the role of youth in the climate change and environmental sustainability platform was brought to us by Mr. Vadinavo Gavagali, and the climate change and food security was presented to us by Mr. Kgothatso Marema. So these are some of the people that you're gonna be meeting. You're gonna talk to them. You're gonna understand exactly where they're coming from, and we're going to be looking also into what you can do to help alleviate climate change. So right now it's lunch, and I don't need lunch. You guys are my food, and also probably get to have a little chat with some of the youth voices. And then the other thing also is, just reaching out as to what we can do to tackle climate change. So yeah, this beautiful place venue over here is the Slayflay Resort. Oh look, there's a swimming pool. Very cool, very cool. So people are gathering now to sit down and eat and so forth. And then we've also had a couple of other guests. We had opening and welcome by Ledit, and we also had a couple of icebreakers which were a lot of fun. Ideally, they were just a whole lot of fun. So it's in time. We will be having a conversation with some of these people finding out where they come from, finding out what they're doing, finding out what they're doing to mitigate climate change, as it is number 13 of the Sustainable Development Goals. So we had a very cool surprise. We had a couple of surprises in fact today, and we got a surprise from Dr. A. Letswalo Mini, which is a professor, definitely one of the people that we're going to be talking to and finding out about the Biosphere Reserve and so forth. And then the other thing is also, it would be so good to find out from members of the Waterberg Biosphere Reserve Youth Network and find out exactly how their journey's been, why they took part in such initiatives, why they decided to do such things, why they felt like it's necessary for them to speak out for the environment, to speak out for climate change, to speak out for anything that is related to the Sustainable Development Goals. And this is of course about Agenda 2030, where we are trying to alleviate poverty, we're trying to alleviate a lot of problems like we just want health for everybody, we want equality for everybody, we want education, good education for everybody, we want fair jobs for everybody, we want people to think outside of the box, be innovators and see what they can do to challenge the situation, bring good things that can possibly better our way of thinking, our way of doing things. So that's gonna happen. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go there, and then there's probably some young people that we can have a conversation with, and then find out exactly what they feel about the dialogue already, what they feel could probably also add a certain aspect to it. I'm so lucky. I'm very lucky. Hi guys. How you guys doing?
Very well.
Do you guys mind if I interject with a couple of questions and then we can just be here?
Is it a podcast?
Yes, it is. I'm gonna be asking both of you. Who are you, sir? What are you doing here? What is your involvement? And what about this dialogue is it that you can take home?
My name is Tsepo Madiba. I'm one of the founding members of Environmental NPO, and I'm a partner to the Waterberg Biosphere Reserve Network. What I'm taking home is the energy that was involved by young people. I think
Good energy.
It's good energy. It means that the biosphere is moving in the right direction as far as influencing young people to take action. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's a lot of gaps in terms of information as well that needs to be closed. And it is not the responsibility of one organization.
No, it's a bunch of us, yes.
It's a collaborative one. But I think Jay, you'd agree with me that from now on going forward, we'll be able to bring out something which is very tangible as compared to where we started yesterday. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Jay, who are you? What is your involvement within working with, because this was hosted by Waterberg Biosphere Reserve, and we'd also like to know where you come from, because we see that you're wearing a La Palala Wilderness School golf shirt, so we'd like to know a little bit about that, and then also what you're going to be taking home after this day.
Thank you very much. Like you have mentioned, my name is Johannes Munyeki. I'm working for a non-profit organization which is called La Palala Wilderness School. So our daily work, our main objective is to help children and young adults to discover the value of biodiversity.
Yes. In
the meantime, we also want to ensure that these young people understand their place within this biodiversity, and while identifying and nurturing future conservation champions. So my involvement in this whole initiative, as you know, the Waterberg Biosphere Reserve is the umbrella organization. So we as La Palala, since we're doing similar work like the biosphere, which is one of their objectives is environmental education and awareness. So it must not look like we are competing with each other, because all of us have got a common goal to achieve, addressing the common issue, which is just to ensure that our Mother Earth is in a good place.
Yes.
So I'm very excited to be here with these young people, and just for my organization, we host a couple of group from fee-paying schools. These are the ones that are like private schools. They pay a certain amount to come and visit our center. But we also have what we term government schools that can really pay to come to our school. So what we do, we just raise funds for them to actually enjoy the benefits of being in the wilderness, learning about the environmental education, which we also task them, or they do like a pledge whereby they saying we're going back to the respective community and our respective schools to start projects. Normally when people hear this term starting project, they think that you must move mountains. You don't have to move mountains. This can be
Teamwork.
small initiatives like how you manage your waste, or how do you, the type of the plants that you plant in your school area, indigenous ones that use less water. This can be starting vegetable gardens at your school.
You heard it for yourself from the gentleman, and like I promised, still to come. All these wonderful, beautiful, great initiatives, all the plans that everybody is doing, all the contribution, you're going to hear it for the first time right here on Life Leftovers with myself, Rosalie Ann. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a chat with Johannes, telling us all the information, because you can tell he's already got a while worth full of information as to what they actually do. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be subscribing, and the next time I put up a podcast, you're going to be the very first person to know about it. And to do that, you can also ring that notification bell. With the 17 SDGs, our work is cut out for us, and it is our responsibility to do something about it. So earlier on in the podcast, when we started off, I asked you, what is it that you can do to alleviate poverty? How can you alleviate poverty? We can increase our help in supporting organizations, especially the environmental programs. We can help a girl and boy child. We can include ourselves into giving back in society by making sure that a child's nutrition is our priority. We can grow one another's spirit. We can improve ourselves mentally and physically. We can make sure that we completely say no, and even make sure that there is no child marriage. Stop. Let's put a stop to all these terrible things. And one of the most important things that we can do is help one another, support one another. This struggle is not yours alone. It belongs to all of us. And if we can all have that same mentality, there will be no poverty. So we're going to be having a whole bunch of conversations, a whole lot of deep talk, a whole lot of catching up, and definitely getting down to the nitty-gritty of the 17 SDGs by the UN, and how me and you, what we can do to alleviate some problems, to enforce some measures, and of course the policies that need to be changed, we can address them, and the ones that are standing, we can support them. So right now, thank you very much. Make sure you tune in, make sure you listen up, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share it with all your contacts. It is Life Leftovers, and I'm Rosalie Ann. Ciao for now. I appreciate you so much, and keep on doing what you're doing to make sure that this world is brighter, is more beautiful, it is more loving, and of course we care about you.